On September 13th of
2013.
2013, your life changed.
Yeah.
Taylor was driving from San Antonio to Houston with a colleague.
Yeah, I was a passenger in the car.
Yep, passenger in the car, and a metal object flew through the passenger side of the car and hit Taylor in the head. And thankfully, the colleague you were with
Yeah, the
thought
driver
was very
he
quick,
kept us cool and
kept us cool.
pulled over the next exit into a Cracker Barrel parking lot and called 911, and they sent a helicopter and then took me to an emergency room in Houston.
So that was almost 7 years ago.
Right.
And so you have been through quite a journey since that accident. Tell us a little bit about your rehab. It's been a long road.
Ugh. I mean, it's painful to think about. I mean, because when I first came out of the coma into which they had induced me, I couldn't walk, and so I had a physical therapist working with me all the time. But it was really strange because I mean, I knew how to walk, but my left side of my body was so atrophied that I didn't have the balance or the strength, and then so I had a physical therapist after I was walking basically on my own even though I had a cane, but after I got the cane taken away, she didn't like my gait, and so she carried a cane herself, and she would scoot along beside me in this little rolling chair and whack my left leg when I took a step to remind me to take a longer step with my left leg.
So you've been through a lot of therapy, and things now in regards to your daily life are different.
Right.
Are you still practicing, and are you practicing law anymore?
No, I didn't keep up with. You have to take what they call CLE, or continuing legal education, each year, and so I didn't do that, of course, while I was in the hospital. So I had a total of 21 surgeries over the course of all those years. So I'm not licensed to practice anymore.
Okay. And daily life in regards to your ability to remember names like you used to, or being able to navigate an airport or a grocery store or a mall. Tell us about how that's changed a little bit.
Well, first, I mean, with respect to just memory, my short-term memory is really poor compared to what it was. So I have a hard time remembering people's names, within 5 minutes after meeting them. And my visual spatial skills, which were already not superb, were diminished even further. So I kind of have to, kind of play the game of to remember my way around a mall. I have to drop candy behind me so I can find my trail. Not really, but really, I had a therapist teach me to take pictures with my phone. Just turn around every few steps and take a picture, so then I can follow my way back that way. So I actually still do that.
So technology has helped you in a way to be able to, live your life and be able to get to where you need to be on time.
Right.
Do you have little timers set to you on your phone?
Oh yes. I mean, I never really used my phone for that purpose, so I had to be retrained, or not retrained, but trained to do that. And I have now probably, I never delete any of them, which is weird, but I've got probably about 50 alarms on my phone.
Okay.
Just, from all the times I've put stuff in, and I just put in new alarms. So I use the phone for alarms to, the alarms on the phone to remind me to get up and do what I need to do to get places.
And you have two beautiful daughters,
Yes.
along with your beautiful, smart, amazing wife. And I know that they have helped you along the way as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, and Melissa, especially during the critical period, was fantastic. I mean, she was at my bedside, overnight, practically living in the hospitals, and she would correct the doctors on on issues that they had been missing. So she practically got her own MD just studying, from medical journals and everything else. So she would, when I was at rehab and I had I was leaking from my forehead, and the doctor said, it's not that big a deal. She said, it's not normal. Get him checked out.
So she's been your advocate and
Yeah.
your supporter throughout all of this.
Taylor, you are in our airline experience.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about what you do in that experience?
We try to demonstrate for the kids what it's like for someone who has the difficulties that I have or someone else has to be in a plane and to deal with the
It's kind of a stressful,
unexpected
yeah.
changes that can occur, and then and how you know.
It's a stressful situation. I've been in the
It is.
airplane.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Right.
So,
It's hard. It's hard, for me to focus on any one item, and it's especially hard to alternate my attention from one thing to another, and then back to what I was doing. So, if the plane is delayed and we have changes in gates where we're landing, any sort of changes like that, it's really a struggle for me to keep
Right.
up with it.
I've heard you talk to the kids that have come through our program, and there's kind of one message. You tell them if they meet someone who has difficulties making quick changes, like you might have to on an airplane, or is having trouble with all the different sensory things going on, you tell them to just be
Yeah, patient.
patient.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because you don't know what somebody is struggling with. Even if they look like right now, I have a full skull, but for up until this past January, I did not have the skull flap on my head, so my head kind of looked like a deflated basketball. So people could look at me and think, okay, that guy, something's unusual about that character. So
Right.
maybe get a break. So I don't have that obvious.
Physical
Yeah,
difference.
the kind of I don't get get a break from people.
Right. It's important to remember that we don't always know what's going on
Right.
with a person.
And so I tell people, only be patient, but just assume the best about what people are doing.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. Be
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
patient and assume the best. What is your favorite aspect of the To Be Like Me program? Either one of you can speak up first.
I like it after we give the sort of after the experience has concluded. The kids get a chance to ask us, individually questions. So I like that part of it because they, you don't know exactly what some of the want to know about, want to know more about. So
Right.
I like it when they have a chance to ask questions after having gone through the experience.
What has it meant to be a leader and to be like me?
Well, I like it in a lot of ways, but one in particular to have kind of effectively a job, to be somewhere that I need to be on time and prepared for. So it's been helpful for me in that way.